One of the major differences between meditation and self-hypnosis is that meditation requires you to accept and take stock of your personal thoughts, feelings, and reactions, while hypnosis has you focus on changing those thoughts, feelings, and reactions. Quite often you logically know you should feel or react a certain way, but you can't actually do that when it happens because it is habit. Self-hypnosis helps align your subconscious mind with your conscious mind. Meditation can be great for taking stock of your emotions and feelings you may want to change later. Of course, during the process, you need to accept them in the now. Guilt and the inability to connect yourself emotionally and accept your behavior will prevent you from coming up with actual solutions. Meditation allows acceptance and overcoming guilt when done right, and it helps you see patterns of behavior you wouldn't otherwise see, that you would have just passed off vaguely as, I must just have bad luck, or that's just how I am. The Erickson model is one that in psychology is a breakthrough, but in the make-a-quick-buck hypnotherapy book world has a wide range of meanings, including self-hypnosis, which uses some of the Erickson model, but is more a byproduct and less of the definition. It is a model that allows the mind and subconscious to remain unanalyzed, yet allows narrative and suggestion to guide as a path. It also does not require a person to believe in hypnosis, and it doesn't require relaxation to make it work. A person can pace it if they want to as they ponder the narrative. The Erickson model requires on indirect suggestion, meaning it's very passive. It is more suggesting that you might wish or not to do something, or think some way, but it's all your choice. Direction suggestion can many times put up defenses for people who may not like to be ordered. Quite often, when it comes to things like willpower, passive suggestions to yourself such as, will I work out today? Work better than commandingly say, I will work out today. Direct or indirect can work if trying to change yourself in self-hypnosis. Unlike with other models of hypnosis, the patient is not being reprogrammed by the therapist to shape them into what is better from their own perspective. Instead, the subject rewires him or herself with one's own experiences and reactions to events. Slow repetition in the relaxed focused state helps penetrate your emotional reactions and wiring. When I first discovered it, I found a shot or two of liquor actually helped act as mental lubricant, and I went through and chopped up my subconscious, rearranging it to become what I always wanted it to be. I was tired of being scared, timid, and a depressed introvert. I used it to very slowly get over my fear of talking to people, especially girls I was into. The method I use to induce a hypnotic state involves laying very relaxed, just like I do for meditation. However, instead of focusing on continuous steady breathing, I will lessen my breathing as I work my way into a relaxation and trance. When I was first taught it, the psychologist used a very slow, relaxed voice to guide me in the process. I worked slowly, focusing on my level of relaxation by focusing on a number from 20 to 0. I start out with 20 with my eyes open, relaxing, breathing out more forcefully than breathing in. Some will tell people to tighten up parts of the body slightly, then quickly relax them, to relax that area fully. Another trick I discovered for relaxation when my mind refuses to relax is to try and imagine your imaginary ethereal self lining up exactly with your real self. I tend to find that whenever it's all over the place, that's whenever I can't focus most. But when they are perfectly aligned, I can just lay there and not move, with few distractions. This tends to, at least for me, reduce agitation, itches, discomfort that often comes from boredom. I repeat what number of gauge relaxation I am in, and when I'm ready to reach the next level of relaxation, I reduce the number. 15 is where your eyelids are very heavy, and 10 is when they're completely closed. Then 5, and then 0. These are called anchoring in psychology, where you can use programmed triggers to induce mental states. Unlike with meditation, the mind does not need to be silent with self-hypnosis, which is one of the issues many have with meditation. Plus, they are actively engaged instead of passively observing, which can drive them nuts starting out. The heavier your limbs feel and your eyes feel, the better. Every number I reach, I imagine climbing downward through a vertical tunnel. Sometimes I climb down a ladder, counting the steps. Sometimes it's like a clock mechanism. Be creative with what keeps you focused on staying relaxed. At 0, I am at the bottom in my mind and there is a floor. Oddly enough, the image I associate with being at that level of relaxation is the ion exchanger in the nuclear reactor on my old ship. I did cleaning duty under it a few times when the reactor was shut down. Then I utilized 3D geometric shapes to focus on a change. The more complex the shape, the better, as you're more focused and it feels more cemented. Sometimes I'll imagine a string running from the top of the hole underneath the ion exchanger and back to the top on the other end. I will then repeat a phrase that is something I want to change and then pull the string taut, pushing the exchanger up into the ceiling and smashing it. Imagining destruction seems to stamp it more permanently on my mind. If I want to adjust my emotions, I'll imagine my interior as a shape. This may be a form of synesthesia that others can't do, but it works great for me. I then carve off pieces of it, replacing them above the exchanger and crushing them. I found that if I want to undo a change, I can take a blank empty shape and crush that, and the piece reappears, probably due to my use of Tinkercad. I will sometimes condense impurities in my inner fluid, quote-unquote, which makes up the inner part of my imaginary ethereal self, and crush that impurity. I will chip off the sides of the interior of my body representing emotions and desires I don't want, often correlating with areas that have actual muscle tightness from that emotion. Adjusting it is completely an art, and getting yourself to a point that is what you're wanting is much like sculpting. After that, you can do a test drive for a day and decide if you like it. You can then change it back or explore new ways of doing things. You also need to continue to do maintenance and keep cleaning up every few days. Repetition of new programming helps break up the old way of thinking. Be slow and forceful with yourself in your inner narrative. Force change as you feel parts of your mind that don't want to change. To some, this may seem like woo or I've taken too much acid, but the entire point is to be very complicated and focused and aware of how you perceive your own mind, body, and emotions. Some may have less clear mind's eyes, or use painting or colors, or possibly even sound. Whatever system works for you that you can use to mentally represent your thoughts or emotions and forces you to focus and manipulate them to do so is just wonderful. Start slow and work your way up so you don't lose track of changes. Over time you can get really good at it and adjust your reactions and emotions to new situations very quickly. Mind you, this is only my personal experience. This may in no way help you at all. However, if this helps you take your inner beast and make it work for you instead of fight you at every turn, I hope this series has been helpful. Thank you. Hey there, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw from my channel, please subscribe and donate to my Patreon. If you have evidence to counter what I say, please provide it. If you would like to see the rest of the videos in this series, please click the links on the screen. Thank you so much.